Hi, everyone. We are beginning week 5, learning and teaching about consonants and vowels. Letter-sound relationships are part of English orthography. Orthography, what is that? Well, let's break it down. The Greek root, orthos, means correct, grapheme, to write. Orthography is correct writing or spelling. It is the arrangement of graphemes into patterns in a language. Orthographic knowledge is spelling patterns such as consonant, vowel, consonant, as in cat. This week, we begin to explore the consonant and vowels of English orthography. Now, we all know the ABC song. We know there are 26 letters in our alphabet. However, many children think that LMNOP is one letter all connected together. We know there are 26 graphemes or letters, but there are many more phonemes or sounds. Young children that are entering the world of print are challenged with connecting the sounds of language with the black squiggly lines that are introduced on the paper. Okay, let's try an experiment. Look at this word. Try reading it out loud in the sentence below. How do you pronounce it, and what does it mean? Inveigle. Her mind lurched to the cold realization that, after all, he had managed to inveigle her in the web of his lies. Well, we know first of all that inveigle is not a good thing. This web of lies tells us that it's negative. It's not a good thing. If we look at the word, maybe you notice the prefix in and the ending ol, le. From the structure of the sentence, you know it is a verb. Because of the web, you might have guessed inveigle means entangle. Almost, but not quite right. Actually, it means to draw by beguiling or artful inducements to allure, win or seduce by beguiling. Now, there are many words that we can pronounce without worrying about how to say them. We discover that when we're asked to read something aloud. Did you connect the second syllable with the word height, either, veer, involved, veil, or eight? We select helpful connections between words and we ignore others. For most of us, this happens on the run. We don't even think about it. It's automatic. As word solvers, we have these categories in our head to connect unfamiliar words. Well, the goal in phonics, vocabulary, and spelling instruction is to help students expand the categories by making connections among words and drawing out important principles that they know in a deep way. For example, the little kindergarten girl that I tutor, she knows the word cat. So that helps her know the word bat, mat, sat, rat. My second grader that I tutor, he knows the word ball. That might help him write book, bat, or even the name Bill. So this week, we're going to expand our connections as we read and discover new categories of consonants and vowels that are important tools for learning to read and to write. This week, you're going to demonstrate knowledge of consonant and vowel categories. You're going to design a literacy center for a specific consonant or vowel category. You're going to participate in group discussions to create new knowledge. The reading assignment for week 5 are chapters 3, 4, and 5 in our text Word Identifications by Barbara Fox. Chapter 3, Early Word Identification in Preschool and Early Kindergarten. This chapter describes 4 word identification strategies that children use as they begin their journey toward literacy. It talks about the strategies of using logos, pictures, word shape, and partial letter sound associations to read new words. Chapter 4, Analogy-Based Phonics in Late Kindergarten and First Grade. This chapter describes the strategy of using the parts in known words to read and spell new words. It's the strategy of using predictable patterns in known words to read new words. So you're going from known to new. Chapter 5 is Letter Sound Phonics in Late Kindergarten, First and Second Grade. This chapter explains the letter-sound relationships of phonics and how children strategically use letter-sound associations to read new words. They're talking about, or she's talking about, the strategy of using letter and sound associations to read and learn new words. Lots of good reading this week. You have a phonics lab assignment. Continue working with your student. You should be supporting them in reading and also in writing. Continue to keep your lab timesheet. Remember, you need 10 hours of face-to-face work and 10 hours of prep and research. I'm going to come back to the Ohio Learning Standards for English Language Arts and Writing Measurable Learning Objectives. Forum 5.1 is you're going to create a Pinterest account or use the one that you already have. And you're going to include the following items on your board, demonstrating deep understanding of the category for which you have chosen to learn more about teaching consonants and vowels. Here, you're going to choose one of these categories, and these are all in chapters 3, 4, and 5 in our text. On your Pinterest board, and this is very important, state the category with a clear explanation in simple terms. Your category should include no fewer than 20 pins and should include at least 5 activities or games to use when teaching or independently in a learning center. These should be complete with directions and illustrations. Include titles, brief descriptions, and rationale of 3 picture books that could be used in your category. You need to include a word sort in your learning center and include additional resources for this category. Now, it talks about not duplicating the categories. I'm not super concerned about that because there's many of you in the class and there's only 19 categories. But what I want to make sure is everybody understands what you're going to do. So you're going to create a Pinterest board for one of these categories. You're going to have 20 pins on your board. You should include at least 5 activities or games that can be used when teaching or independently learning in a learning center. It should have complete directions and illustrations. Include titles and brief descriptions and a rationale for using 3 picture books for your category. And include a word sort for that category. And include additional resources. If you have questions, oh, look at this, we already have some. Excellent. If you have questions, please ask me. Now, I want to go back to the Ohio Learning Standards for English Language Arts. This link should take you right there. Because you're going to be writing a phonics word study lesson plan. And you're going to have to choose a standard for this lesson plan. That's why the standards are here. You're also going to have to write a measurable learning objective for this lesson plan. This tells you what you need to include in your measurable learning objective. I'm going to upload my students' feature guide for the primary spelling inventory and my phonics lesson plan that I have written for him that we did this past week. So this is an example for you. So I took the data from the primary spelling inventory, and that's how I moved forward with his instruction. So if you have questions, please ask me. And this is not due in week 6. It's due in week 7 and 8. So please be thinking ahead about this. Thank you.